Hello beautiful people and welcome to my channel. Guys, I know we are all aware of the family of 7, the husband, the wife and the 5 children, that social workers took their children away from them precisely 3 to 5 days ago. Now what happened? Because this is like a lesson to every one of us parents who are in diaspora. We have to be really careful with our children. And I'm not blaming the father, I'm not blaming the mother, because parenting is not an easy job, especially when you live abroad. Now what happened? The father was not around, the mother was not around, but they have an older child. That older child they have is not up to 18, but the older child is a teenager. So they left the other children, the other 4 children, with the older child. Now, the last of their child is around 7 months old. We don't know what happened. You know how the UK build their houses. You know how they build their house a bit tall, but not very tall. Now, that little baby fell off through the window and down. And the baby was not injured. When the parents came back, the senior child, who is a teenager but not up to 18, I told the parents what happened, that this baby fell. They checked the back of the baby's head, no injury, nothing. The baby was okay. So they didn't deem it right to take the baby to the hospital, because according to them, they did their own analysis, they checked the baby's head and there was nothing. But few days, just like a day or 2 days, they noticed that there was swelling on the baby's head, what you will call hematoma or what you will call edema. They noticed a swelling on the baby's head and they had no option than to take the baby to the hospital. So when they got to the hospital, they did the vital signs of this baby, did the initial observation of this baby, and they asked them what happened. They said the truth, that the baby had a fall, and I don't blame the nurse. I don't blame the nurse, because I'm a nurse too, and I know we take an oath. The oath to always practice safely, promote professionalism and stuff like that. So the nurse had to make a formal complaint that involves social workers and safeguarding against that child, because that child fell from a distance up and down, and the parents didn't bring the child initially and they brought the child few days after. Now social workers were involved. Of course, you know, because they were involved, what did they do? They investigated and went back to the lead. This family stay in Lead, they're from Romania. They went to the family house and they took the older children away from them. I've gone through the internet, lots of people saying, how can the father leave the house the same time? How can the mother leave the house the same time? I try not to condemn parenting. I try not to judge, because parenting is not easy, especially in developed country like UK. So I try not to judge them. I just pray that we don't make any mistake that will make people to begin to learn from our mistake. But now this is the story for today. Make sure your children are your priorities. What do I mean by that? Do not leave children unattended to because you have an older child in the house. I'll tell you a quick one. Not too long ago, a lady left her baby in the house with the husband, and the husband felt that the baby had slept. He quickly put on his clothes and went to Aldi, rushed quickly, because according to them, the baby sleeps long hours. So he quickly put on his clothes and ran to Aldi to buy one of those. By the time he came back, the baby had, in fact, he heard the baby's voice before he entered the compound. The baby screaming. He told us categorically that the neighbors, thank God, they were kind enough. They were already at the door waiting, like looking for, and we said to him, you're very lucky, because your neighbors are so nice, they can just report. That's wrong. So do not leave your children, because if you are condemning and say, why would the mother leave the child and why would the father leave the child? Look at this situation now, where they've already noticed that this baby is the kind of baby that sleeps long hours. But the moment he left, he told us that he didn't even stay up to 5 minutes. He didn't stay up to 5 to 10 minutes, that because Aldi is literally like 2 minutes walk from here. But the baby woke up and the baby was screaming. It was the neighbors that were knocking, who is here, because according to him, he said they never leave the child unattended to. So that was why the neighbors were curious what was happening. He was lucky to have good neighbors. Some neighbors will take it up immediately and report you. So let's be careful, especially these holidays. Keep an eye on your children. I know we are eager, wanting to make money, wanting to do extra shift, but please, keep an eye on your children, watch over them. Even though you have an older child that is legally 12, 13, that can, you know that by your assessment they can take care of their younger ones, but an adult still have to be in the house. So don't look for money and you and your husband, you are away from home leaving the children for their older one. Let's try, because it's not easy. Children who are being taken from their parents are being given to foster parents to take care of them, and science have proven that those children do not come out well like children who were raised by their own biological parents. So it is not a good thing. This whole issue brought a lot of chaos, riots in Leeds. I think they even had issue with police. I think they burnt a car or so, all because of this issue. Imagine having your 5 children taken away from you. So please, this holiday, parents, guardians, please keep an eye on your children. Watch them. Now guys, I'll end this with a story. A colleague of mine shared with me that her child was so sick and she took the child to accident and emergency unit, and the child had a temperature of 41 degrees as at when she left her house with her husband. They took the child to accident and emergency unit. She's a nurse. We work in the same hospital literally. And she told me that, we called to the hospital by 6 p.m. They took bloods from this child and we kept on waiting from doctor. They just gave the baby paracetamol. She said as at 2 a.m. they were still waiting for doctor. That's a waiting time of 8 hours. He said the husband was like, I'm going to work in the morning. She herself was going to work in the morning. And then they waited till 4 a.m. Nobody had attended to them. Outside the paracetamol they gave the child when they came initially and the bloods that were collected, they've not seen doctor. So she left home. She took the child, because she told me the child temperature had come down, that even when the nurse repeated it again, the child temperature was like 37.5. So she took the child home, herself and the husband went home. She said they didn't give the child any treatment, but the child became okay, obviously. But after 2 weeks, she got a letter. They have raised safeguarding for that child. They are still judging the case as of today. So please, parents, keep an eye on your children. I know it's not easy. It's not easy. Me that is even talking is not easy, but I'll tell you, God's grace is sufficient for all of us. All right, guys, thank you very much. I just wanted to share this story with you. Keep your thoughts in the comment section. I'll see you in another of my juicy video. Until I see you again, have a beautiful day.